listening to Crystal Clear Lore, a Wormsong production. In the summer of 1942, the deep blue waters of Lake Pend Oreille stretched like a scar across northern Idaho, calm and secretive under the endless pine ridges. War had come to America just a few months ago, and with it, the U.S. Navy had quietly claimed a chunk of the lakeshore for secret submarine testing. The newly built Farragut Naval Training Station buzzed with fresh-faced sailors, echoing drills, and the occasional suspicious glance from locals who wondered why their sleepy logging town now smelled of diesel and bureaucracy. Hank Hook McTavish, a one-eyed fisherman with a belly like a whiskey barrel and a beard that could hide a small rodent, was not impressed by any of it. "Navy boys," he grumbled to his ancient rowboat, the Rusty Minnow, as he pushed off from the dock at dawn. "They think they own the lake just because of the damned war. I'll show them whose waters these are." Hook had lost his eye to a wayward Hook in '38, or so he claimed. The truth involved a jealous husband in a very dark outhouse, but that was another story for another day. This morning, Hook was after the biggest fish in the lake, a near-mythical sturgeon the size of a Buick that locals swore could pull a man under. He rowed out past the Navy buoys, ignoring the shouts from a patrol boat.
"Restricted area, civilian!"
A young ensign yelled through a megaphone. "Restricted my left buttock," Hook hollered back, waving his fishing rod like a saber. "This lake's been here since God was a tadpole." The ensign must have given up, as for once, no Navy boats chased him down to force him to leave. Settling in, Hook cast his line, cracked open a warm beer, and settled in for a long day of doing absolutely nothing. The sun climbed high, the water lapped gently, and Hook had managed to find a slice of peace when the whole world was in turmoil. Then, around noon, something bumped the bottom of his boat. Hook sat up. "Probably a log," he muttered. Another bump. Harder. The boat rocked. A third jolt sent his beer flying overboard. Hook peered over the side, squinting with his good eye. What he saw made him twitch in terror and delight. A long, silvery shape glided beneath the surface. 20, maybe 30 feet of sleek, undulating menace. It had a humped back like a breaching whale, but with a narrow, almost mechanical head that broke the water for a split second. Two dark protrusions that might have been eyes stared back at him. Then it dove, leaving a wake that spun Hook's boat in lazy circles. "Holy shit on my Chevy!" Hook bellowed. He grabbed his oars and rowed for shore like the devil himself was coming for him. By the time he reached the dock, he was panting, soaked, and convinced he'd seen the monster everyone had been claiming was in the lake. Only this one looked more government-issued. Word about Hook's encounter spread faster than a rumor at a farmer's market. By evening, the local watering hole, the Pioneer Bar, was packed. Hook held court at the bar, gesturing wildly with a fresh beer bought by other barflies. "It was huge, and silver like a torpedo. Its head was like a horse crossed with a U-boat. And it paddled, boys, up and down like it was late for supper." The crowd murmured. Old Widow Jenkins clutched her pearls.
"It's the end times! Hitler sent a sea serpent to wipe us out!"
No one responded, as Widow Jenkins was prone to hysteria and hyperbole. Navy Lieutenant Reginald Reggie Farnsworth, a stiff-backed officer with a clipboard and the personality of wet toast, pushed through the throng. He had been sent to Farragut to oversee classified aquatic maneuvers and did not appreciate civilian hysteria interfering with national security.
"Mr. McTavish,"
Reggie said crisply, adjusting his cap,
"I assure you, there are no monsters in this lake. Only diligent American sailors performing their vital war work."
Hook leaned in, his one eye gleaming.
"Then explain the humps, Lieutenant, and the way it looked at me, like it knew I voted for Roosevelt. Twice."
The next morning, The Bonner County Herald ran the headline.
Local fisherman battles lake beast. Navy mom on monster menace.
Reporter Betty Callahan, a feisty redhead with a typewriter that had seen more action than most GIs, had interviewed Hook at length. She smelled a Pulitzer, or at least a raise, with this story. It quickly got picked up by several other papers and became a local sensation. Lieutenant Farnsworth had been summoned to the base commander's office. Captain Hargrove slammed a newspaper on his desk. "Farnsworth? What in Sam Hill is this paddler nonsense? The brass in Washington thinks we're running a sideshow." "Sir, it's clearly a misidentified sturgeon, or even wave action from our test dives," Farnsworth replied, sweating despite the cool mountain air. Captain Hargrove narrowed his eyes. "Test dives? You mean those prototype subs that are top secret? The ones that keep surfacing like drunk dolphins? God help us if any of Hitler's spies find out what we're doing." Lieutenant Farnsworth swallowed. The Navy's experimental submersibles, sleek silver prototypes designed to slip past Japanese sonar, had a habit of broaching unexpectedly in the deep lake. One had nearly beached itself last week, looking for all the world like a metallic serpent. But admitting that could compromise everything, so the two men devised a plan. Debunk the monster publicly while secretly corralling the wayward subs. Meanwhile, Hook had become a local celebrity. Tourists, mostly war-wearied families on rationed vacations, flocked to the lake with binoculars. Widow Jenkins started selling paddler protection charms, which were just crafted-up pine cones on strings. Betty Callahan camped on the dock, hoping for a photo to cinch that Pulitzer. The drama peaked on a foggy Thursday evening. Hook, feeling bold after 3 whiskeys and a rousing speech about
Defending American waters from aquatic Axis agents,
took the Rusty Minnow out again, this time with a borrowed .22 rifle and a net. Lieutenant Farnsworth followed in a Navy skiff, determined to head him off before he saw something he shouldn't.
"You'll not harpoon my monster, Navy boy,"
Hook shouted across the mist.
"It's not your monster, you cod-brained civilian,"
Reggie yelled back.
"It's classified."
Their boats converged near the deep central trench, where the water suddenly churned. Up rose the paddler, silvery, humped, and unmistakably mechanical. A hatch popped open. A sheepish sailor poked his head out. Lieutenant, we got stuck on a submerged log again. Permission to surface fully?" Hook's jaw dropped. Farnsworth buried his face in his hands and groaned. Fate, in its infinite comedic wisdom, wasn't done. As the sub fully emerged, a massive, genuine sturgeon, easily 12 feet long, leapt from the water in panic, slapping Hook squarely in the chest and knocking him overboard. He surfaced, sputtering, clinging to the sub's hull. "Well, I'll be damned," Hook laughed, treading water. "The paddler's got a little brother." Betty, who had rowed out in a borrowed canoe, snapped the perfect photo. Hook embracing the monster sub while the real fish flopped nearby. Farnsworth instantly detained her and confiscated the camera. Betty was livid, only mollified by the fact that Lieutenant Farnsworth promised that as soon as the war was over, she could have the camera back. Afterwards, the Navy quietly adjusted the testing protocols. Hook received a commendation for accidental patriotism and a lifetime supply of beer. Lieutenant Farnsworth got a promotion and a permanent desk job far from the lakes. Betty won a naval award and started working with the Navy to release misleading information in the papers to keep folks away from the subs. And the Pend Oreille Paddler? It lived on in legend. Half sturgeon, half submarine, all Idaho. Locals still swear that on quiet nights, you can hear the gentle sound of something enormous paddling just beneath the surface. Whether it's a beast, a boat, or just the lake playing jokes on humans, no one knows for sure. In wartime, after all, some mysteries are better left paddling in the deep.
Welcome back to Crystal Clear Lore. I'm Crystal Lance, and I'm back in the recording closet with Brady, and today we are talking about one of our local cryptids.
Yeah, the Pend Oreille Paddler.
Have you heard of the Pend Oreille Paddler before we started recording?
Not at all. And I'm from the area.
This is true. You are from Spokane.
Not from Pend Oreille, but yeah, Spokane's like an hour and a half away.
True. And I'm only like 15, 20 minutes from the lake, and I forgot about him.
I can't believe I never heard of it. It's kind of a silly thing.
It is a silly thing. So in North Idaho, we do this. It's a massive lake. It's called Lake Pend Oreille. Now, it's not spelled Ponderay.
It's another one of those words in this show that's not spelled how it sounds.
We have a town that's spelled that way that's called Pend Oreille, but the lake is spelled Pend space Oreille. It is French for hanging ear because the French traders, when they came down, the natives in the area always wore earrings.
I thought it was because the lake looked like an ear.
No, because they named it after the natives that were here.
I don't actually know what the lake looks like off the top of my head from a map.
It looks like a weird,
it's big,
crazy sea.
It's huge.
Like a backward sea, but that's not like a true sea. Like it's like a stretched out sea.
It's kind of like an ear.
Kind of, yeah. It's a weird one.
Well, anyway, it's really cold lake. That's all I really know about it.
It does not get that warm. So the lake is, I think, it might be the largest lake in Idaho, or it's close, because it covers 148 square miles.
Okay, that's big.
Its length is 43 miles, which
Ooh.
I wrote that down in my notes, and I literally had to sit there and think about it. I was like, is it really that big?
Well, I mean, it doesn't end when you drive basically from Sandpoint to Newport.
No, because it also starts in like a little town called Bayview is kind of where that southern bit is at. It's massive. Now, I have never, before I researched this, I never really knew how deep the lake went. I knew it was over 1,000 feet. The deepest point they have measured is 1,158 feet deep.
Is that deep for a lake?
It is deep for the local lakes. The Great Lakes are probably deeper, but they're also a lot more massive.
They sure are compared to that. But I mean, to us, this is a huge lake. Around here, if you drive in 10 minutes in any direction, you're going to find a lake.
Yep.
Well, make it 20, I would say. Compared to any of the other ones around is pretty big. And I do know maybe it was 4 to 6 hours from here in Montana, there's a really big lake. I forgot what it's called, but it's a pretty significant lake in Montana.
But you thinking Flathead?
I don't know.
Because the Flathead Lake in Montana is 28 miles long, and it covers 191 square miles.
That's pretty big. What's
It's
the
pretty
deepest
big.
lake in Montana?
That is Tally Lake. That goes to a depth of 492 feet.
So Pend Oreille's got that beat by a lot.
Yeah, Pend Oreille is like twice that. Pend Oreille is huge. Like, I regularly forget just how big that lake is, and we live right near it.
Yeah, the drive to Bayview is like 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. It's not long.
But it's really short, yeah.
So there's said to be a creature that lives in this lake called the Pend Oreille Paddler. Now, the paddler is supposed to be just this massive, almost sea serpent type creature. It's supposed to be measuring up to about 20 feet. It's silvery or has a gunmetal gray appearance. It has a periscope-like neck and moves in a distinctive paddling up and down motion. Now, but did you know we have local divers up here? Because I did not.
I was assuming we did.
We do. So there are local divers that have reported that they have been sent to search for the paddler, but they have never seen it.
I bet they had like a whole coalition, like the Paddler Pals. Hey, let's be the Paddler Pals, yeah.
The PPs.
It'd be back in the 40s. It was like when the audio drama took place. It'd be like, yeah, we were the Paddler Pals, yeah.
Fred Kennedy is one of these divers. He piloted barges for most of his life. He was 84 when he was interviewed. He was called out to find the paddler because he'd be called out and be like, hey, there's a monster report. So, you know this lake, we're going to call you out.
So he was the pal they turned to
Yes.
when they needed information on the paddler?
Yes, he was the paddler pal, the primo paddler pal, one might say.
He also was a paddler himself.
This is true.
Just motorized.
Now, Fred was quoted he never saw it because it was always a big tree with branches sticking out of the water. There are other giant things, too, that I learned are on the bottom of this lake that could be confusing people's scanners. Because now I remember being a kid on Lake Pend Oreille, and my dad had like the little fish tracker thing on his boat, right? And you would get some like massive readings.
Wasn't there some huge pike and stuff in there? Or some, like you said in the thing, a sturgeon or whatever?
Well, yeah, there's massive pike. We do know about the pike, but there's railroad cars that are in there.
Oh, yeah. There's all sorts of crazy stuff in there from what I've heard.
Yeah, there's railroad cars that fell off the tracks near Trestle Creek in the 30s, and there's a massive Navy barge full of equipment worth about $1 million in today's money.
No, that's not one of the lakes around here that has the whole town that got sunk, is it?
Ooh.
There's a couple
Not
in
that
Washington that I know of.
Not that
Medic
I
Lake.
could find. From what it sounds like, this was just... So Lake Pend Oreille was used for logging and transportation and stuff. It was never had a settlement in it.
Fair enough. With how long it was, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just having a bunch of logging barges and just floating the logs.
You know, barges go down, train cars go down. It's what it is.
Yeah, but there's all sorts of cool stuff down there.
So the first sighting of the paddler was reported in 1944. Now, it's important to note that the Trestle Creek railroad cars fell off in the 30s, so they were already down there by that time. However, that Navy barge I talked about, that didn't sink till the 70s.
Ooh.
So that can't be the paddler. That's marked off the list. It was said when it was seen, the first reporting said that the ripples shuddered and broke the person's reverie, like he was kind of zoning out and enjoying the quiet. A dark shape rose to the surface. It had a bumpy back and was longer than the rowboat. At this time, Farragut Naval Training Center was in operation, which, if people don't know, here's a little side tangent on the history here. The Farragut Naval Training Center is now gone, but it was built in 1942 on the coast of Lake Pend Oreille because World War II. And they were doing a lot of testing and things like that because Idaho is so far inland that they didn't think they were going to get bombed like Pearl Harbor.
That makes sense. Nobody would think that there'd be submarine testing or whatever, naval training over here this far inland, right?
Exactly. And they were testing subs. This was 100% something they had been doing. Now, they've been openly testing submarines in the lake since 1955 at the Acoustic Research Detachment, but those are models a size of about 90 feet long.
Right, and I'm guessing that due to the name of the research facility, they're testing the sonars and all that kind of stuff and soundproofing and all that.
Well, in an article I found what they're really working on, it was like 98, this article came out. They were working on making them quiet, quick to launch, and making sure they can handle like some really deep dives.
That's cool.
Of course, you know, the reporter was like, well, how quiet are they? And he's like, that's all classified. I can't tell you.
I'm surprised they didn't just actually give you a lie. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I would just lie because that's actually better just to put out the disinformation than it is to just say, oh, I'm not going to tell you. That means because then you're showing your hand.
Oh, exactly. That's why we can't because, you know.
But that's my opinion. I don't run military stuff.
Now, here's the thing, though, that I really think about. If there was first seen in 44, right, the Naval Training Center closed down in 46. This Naval Training Center is gone now, by the way, in Farragut State Park. It's all gone except like the Brig Museum and some ruins.
Yeah, there is on one of the Farragut trails. I believe it was the Squirrel Cache Trail. Don't quote me on that. There's like an old building. I think it was like a shower house or something.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
That one,
it's just the foundation is left. Or was it the outhouse or something?
I don't know. It was something like that.
funny like that.
But yeah, when you go hike Farragut, you can see like old remnants of it because that's pretty much all that's left. They took most of it down.
Yeah, and if you go to there's like a museum type of thing there.
Yeah, it's the brig.
They got all that stuff. All sorts of cool photos from back in the day.
It's very crazy. Even the library up in Athol, which is the nearest, like I would say, quote unquote, larger city.
Of a whole like 700 and 800 people.
They have a bunch of photos too of the training center. But the ARD was part of the Naval Training Center. So between 42 and it was built in 46 when it closed. So it's very possible that we were testing subs in that lake. It's very probable, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're testing other classified stuff in there right now.
It's a big, deep lake and it's really far inland, so it's hard to get in.
I wanted to say, though, you said something about like the monster coming up with the spikes or something on its back.
The hump on its back?
The hump on its back, sorry. I'm not willing to dismiss this whole thing about the paddler because have you seen river monsters?
Yeah, no thank you.
And that's just in a river. Like it's not that wide, you know what I mean? Like a 43 mile, how many say? 43 mile?
43 miles long.
Lake that's
huge.
fucking 1,000 foot deep
Yeah.
in places. It means probably average, you know, if the one in fucking Montana was 400 feet, then well, I guess average depth of this one would be from 300 to 700 feet. So I'm not ready to dismiss the paddler. It's a big lake and it's a deep lake. And I've seen river monsters. I've seen what lies in deep water bodies.
Well, the reason I bring all this up is because this is a common theory is that the paddler is just from all the submarine testing.
Yeah.
It's actually the most common theory because during testing, submarines do have the vertical movement going up and down that the paddler does.
It very well could have been the subs. Yeah.
And there's...
Actually, I like both angles.
That's
a
true.
lot. I like the idea that there's a mysterious deep freshwater creature that lurks around the lake, biting your toes. But I also like the idea of like people just mistaking secret submarine testing programs as river monsters because it kind of parallels the UAP, people maybe mistaking government aircraft testing for UFOs.
in my head, right, the entire military kept Project Manhattan under tight wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, including the local Hanford Center, which is over in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, okay, sorry. One quick with that. A lot of people always do that whole thing where it's like, well, conspiracies can't be real because there's no way the government would ever be able to keep it secret. Bullshit.
The Manhattan Project was literally top secret.
Thousands
It
of
was
people
insane.
involved. Thousands of people were involved in that. They're really good at keeping secrets, trust
Yeah,
me. And even if you get close to finding the answer, they're really good at disinformation, like I was saying earlier.
That's why I was saying, like, if they are going to keep something that big under wraps, there's no way that they couldn't have kept the subtesting like under wraps.
Especially just from a bunch of potato people
Hey, I'm one of those
in the
potato people.
40s.
I am a potato person.
You know what's funny is I don't think Idaho even knew the Great Depression happened.
No, as far as I can
still
tell,
like that now in some places here, dude. I don't think it ever changed. Not to disparage Idaho. It's just like, it's a very rural state.
all Idahoans, he's from Washington, so you can boo him now. That's why we brought him over here. We beat
Offense
him with
to Washington. Indeed. Not Washingtonian.
Well, so, okay, after the 40s, sightings of the paddler completely stopped till the 70s. So that's like a 30-year gap, right?
Oh, boy.
Then, like, the worst thing happened. I want you to think about the worst thing. That's what happened. A little girl playing at Sandpoint City Beach on the north side of the lake got attacked by it in September 1977.
Attacked by the paddler?
By the paddler.
So a submarine attacked her? It beached and crushed her?
No, so here's
Shot her with a nuke?
the stuff was really, like, really kept out. I could tell the Navy was like, you can't release any of this shit to the public.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I found the original article and it was so scant. I was like, wow, they are really withholding information here.
Did you dig farther?
I've tried. Now, the resulting article that names, that was the article that named it the Pend Oreille Paddler, right? That was the 70s. That's where it got its name.
Okay.
There's like nothing about this attack. It was like, oh yeah, she got like, and there was a accident thing and then that's it. It's all gone. I can't find the girl's name. I can't find details. The only thing I could even find was that it happened in September of 77. I can't find nothing detail-wise.
So you're meaning to tell me it's just like, list just in. Girl gets attacked on beach. Find out the baseball scores.
Pretty much. It was insane because I was like, this should be huge news, especially in Sandpoint in the 70s. Like, there wasn't that much going on. Like, Sandpoint's kind of, not much happens up here in North Idaho, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I was going to say, when Betty coughs, it's in the newspaper. So, I mean, like, you would think it smells of a cover-up, like, kind of like you suspect.
Yeah, something happened and it's really getting hushed up. Now, it could be for good reason. It could be a little girl, like, got attacked because maybe the sub did beach, or maybe people were like, well, we can't have this get out because it'll start going and trying to harpoon the paddler.
I was going to say, hear me out. The paddler's real. The Navy knows about it because they have to deal with it. And it's probably just actually a known species of fish or some shit. And then a little girl gets attacked. And they don't want everybody out there finding out about the subs, diving.
Right? That's
Finding
kind
out
of
about the secret sauce.
That's kind of what I was wondering too. So something's hinky there. There was also a picture in the Sandpoint magazine, What's Happening, of the paddler itself.
Oh.
Now, I saw the picture. It looked hella sus.
Was it a cartoon crayon drawing? And was it accompanied by Alan, 7-year-old, Sandpoint Elementary or whatever?
No, so it was an actual picture. And it had a
Okay.
girl in there. I would say a girl, but she looked like a teenager. And it had something that looked not right. Like, okay, 10 years after this, you find out it's a giant papier-mâché catfish.
Son of a gun.
And it looks kind of like a catfish. And I was like, okay, so it's a catfish? They get that big.
So she got catfished?
She got catfish.
Like really catfished. That's too good. You can't write?
So some have figured that like the catfish is what caused the supposed attack, which would mean the whole attack was a hoax. But again, there's like no information, so it's really hard to verify anything.
She probably got her toes licked by a sturgeon.
I'm not sure. The other prevalent theory, other than the submarine, is that it's a sturgeon, right?
You know, we always try to scare each other. Now, surprisingly, no one's tried to scare me, you know, when you swim around the lakes around here with the whole friggin' paddler deal. But everyone always says, watch out for the sturgeon or the pike.
Yeah, the pike are mean.
And they'll bite your toes. They say they'll bite your toes off. And so whenever you go to Coeur d'Alene to swim at the little public beach there by the resort, you're always like, I'm going to lose my toes. And it's cold, so I'm not going in.
Pike are mean son of a guns too. They suck. But here's the thing. So if there are lake sturgeon lake sturgeon, they only get to like 4 to 6 feet long. And the longest recorded was only 7 feet. Paddler is 20 feet long.
That's quite a gap, but 20 feet long.
20 feet long.
Submarines are like 70 feet long.
Well, that's the thing, because the subs that they were testing were like 80, 90 feet long.
Yeah.
So
they're big. They're like a building
yeah. So
on its side.
What is it? Because it's not, the sub's too long, the sturgeon's too small.
You know, it's really looking like the paddler is a mystery.
Now, you said about the paddler pals, right?
Paddler pals, yeah.
And you know I went to North Idaho College, and I love that college.
Yes.
In 1983, a professor from that college, James McLeod, formed a
Wait. Sorry. I think that's pronounced McLeod.
McLeod?
McLeod is McLeod.
McLeod? Okay,
Yeah,
McLeod.
I think it's
Okay.
McLeod. Chat. Audience. We need you to weigh in on this. Is it McLeod?
Might be McLeod. Actually, now that you're saying that, I bet you it's McLeod.
Anyway, yeah, I think it is, but it doesn't matter. I wasn't trying to nitpick, but
You're fine.
it's an interesting spelling.
So he formed a cryptozoology club at the college, and they did a ton of research into the paddler. Thank you, by the way, that cryptozoology club, because man, did I rely on your freaking information and findings.
Where do I sign up?
So that was in the 80s, and when I went in the 10s, they did not hear about one, so it might be gone.
Dang it.
The club were the ones that found that the photo in the paper was the Papier-Mâché Catfish.
Oh, how'd they know about the catfish?
So apparently the catfish was a prop used in a play a few years back in Sandpoint.
And they just knew about it?
They were able to hunt it. I mean,
Somebody figured it
they
out?
went out there and they did the research and they did investigation. So props to them, because you solved a lot of my legwork.
Dude, go paddler pals. Bigfoot bros. Mothman motherfuckers.
What's the best one? Motherfucking Mothman.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, that was in the 70s and 80s, right? So there was another gap between 77 and then the next documented sighting was on Memorial Day weekend in 1985. A local teacher from Coeur d'Alene, Julie Green, saw a huge gunmetal gray object that appeared near her boat and she chased that fucker down.
This is Idaho.
That's in Idaho.
She said, hold my beer.
She might have actually said that too, which is
And
hilarious.
she slammed the throttle on the boat.
Well, so she was reported as saying, quote, "There was clearly something in the water ahead of us that was undulating, coming in and out of the water," unquote. She then dropped her engine and gave chase, but the gunmetal gray object rivaled the length of her 22-foot boat, soon outdistanced her.
It must be pretty quick or big. Then.
That's the thing. So it's probably, it was 22 foot, right? That was her boat. So say it's about 20 feet again, and it's outpacing her.
That's crazy.
That's a big, quick monster.
I kind of believe her.
I kind of do too. She's a teacher. This sounds bad. Like, I understand we shouldn't really judge people based off their professions, but if you're a teacher or a doctor, I'm going to believe you a little bit more than some crackhead down the street.
Okay, so I got to go off on this because I don't get to go off very often.
Uh-oh.
But it's like, okay, a lot of people talk about ghosts and those kind of things, and there's a lot of times where you can probably chop it up to some bullshit or some camera bullshit, artifacts. But then there's definitely some that are probably some genuine happenings, right? But you can tell the ones that are making shit up for attention. And there's a fuckload of it.
There is. That's what's the problem.
And then also go to the UFOs and the Bigfoots communities. It's the same frickin' problem, right?
Right.
You can tell when someone is just going with the flow of the typical tropes of a UFO abduction story or whatever. You can tell when people are full of shit is basically where I'm getting at when it comes to this kind of stuff. And sometimes it doesn't really matter if there's credentialism or not. So like a lot of people actually didn't believe the UFO thing until the guy, it was James Fravor, I believe his name is Commander James Fravor.
He's changing hard.
No, my point is like he, and a lot of people didn't really believe anybody until this guy, James Fravor. He's, because you understand like the rigorous prerequisites to be a fighter pilot, let alone in the Top Gun program. And so when he says that they chase anomalous aircraft all the time, and then at the same time showing you data from his fucking aircraft, then yeah, you're going to believe him over like fucking Jim Bob at the bar.
Exactly.
I put something in my bum. I swear.
I'm not gay. No.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't at the glory hole. I swear. It was some aliens. There's mayonnaise on my shirt. My burger.
But there's like a thing to that because somebody that's gone through like testing and all that stuff, we tend to believe them more. It's like I don't want to call it an authority complex, but I don't have the proper terminology. But they're in positions of authority. That doesn't mean they're like authoritative figures. You know what I mean?
I think
they're educated. They're worldly. That's the word.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say is it's kind of a credentialist kind of thing. They've proven themselves, at least to somebody, who deemed them worthy of some kind of, to be taken seriously, I guess is the best way to put it. Usually people who are more credentialed can be taken more seriously. Not always.
No.
But in these kind of cases, yeah, I believe a teacher, and she says she saw something undulating out in front of her and it got away from her. I don't know. Just the story doesn't smell of too much cheese. Let's put it that way.
Right. It is very weird. Now, so from 85 to 2007, there was nothing. The final sighting that we have so far happened in 2007. So I would have been living in Idaho for 6 years at that point, which is why I remember this vaguely as a kid, but I'd have been what? 14. I'd have been 14. Okay, I'm in my 30s. This was like 20 years ago. I do not remember fully that far back. Now, the lady, I think it was a lady, there's a picture that was snapped of the creature. Okay, it was taken, it was posted online. It is quite difficult to tell exactly what it is.
Is it creepy?
Well, you know what? It's something because there's 100% something in that lake.
And it wasn't the papier-mâché this time?
No, because it's moving. So I'm going to try my best to describe the picture, but like you've got the mountains, right? And you've got the big lake, but there's like a trail of like, it's like a trail of moving down. Like you can see the water break, right? Now there's something it looks like I think the lower right-hand corner, it looks like, I'm not sure what it looks like, but it's something has like popped its like top of its head out or something. And then way in the back are a couple other things floating. I don't think the two things way in the back have anything to do with it. But
I implore you to post this on our Instagram, at Wormsong Media. See, that looks like a UFO photo.
Doesn't it?
That's big, though, whatever that is.
I'll post it Wednesday when the episode drops. I'll get this out.
Could
but
you zoom
that
out?
is like, it is a weird photo, right? Because like, what is it?
Oh, when you zoom out and you can see the scale, yeah, that's
It's huge.
Yes, I implore you to post that on our Instagram and our threads and stuff, at Wormsong Media. Go look it up.
It is a massive, I don't know what it is, but it's something. Like you can tell, oh, that's something and it's big.
You guys want to see that? Just Google it or go on our Instagram.
You can literally Google Pend Oreille
Google it.
Paddler in 2007 photo. It will come up.
I recommend using voice to text for that one, guys. Because if you type in Pend, Pond, Oreille, or like it sounds, good luck.
There's actually a town called that.
Yeah, no, you
With
want to
that spelling.
You want to do Lake Pend Oreille Paddler just to help with that. And remember, it's the French spelling. So here's the question, though. Like, you've seen that picture. I've seen that picture. I spent forever analyzing that picture, trying to figure out what the heck that thing is in the lower left-hand corner. Okay, is there a massive creature in the lake, or is it literally just the result of decades of secretive submarine research that started during World War II? I mean, what is this paddler? Is it a giant creature, or is it just a subs?
Well, obviously, I want it to be like Godzilla. I want there to be a fucking kaiju in the bottom of the damn lake.
I do not want to anger the kaiju. I like my house and I like living. So thank you. Don't anger the kaiju that lives in the lake.
It wouldn't last long in Idaho. Now, if it attacked like Oregon, it'd last a while. But
Yeah.
if it attacked Idaho, it would be shot down pretty quickly.
Don't we have the right to have like grenades in Idaho? We have like crazy gun laws or lack thereof. We don't have gun laws.
I'm pretty sure there's not too many restrictions. I don't think you can own explosives, sadly. I'm sure you can
Bet.
get a federal license for it, but
Bet.
But does that stop anyone? That's the
No.
question. No.
But anyway, we're not going to hit that section. But like, it is something. So I'm not sure because there's so much pointing to, hey, this is probably a real creature that lives in the giant lake that's massively deep.
I want it to be real.
I do too, but also, if it is a kaiju, God please, I have done nothing to you, Sir Kaiju. I will give you offerings. Do not smash my house.
It's a massive, like, eldritch god just resting at the bottom of our stupid fucking Idaho lake that's too cold to fucking swim in.
Oh, it's so cold. It's so sucky. It's
because that fucking thing is sucking up all the heat from the lake to keep itself dormant.
Well,
at the
not just-
bottom.
not
and
just-
actually, there's no floor of the lake. That's its fucking body.
Don't even start. I already have weird things about how deep that lake is. I hate being on that lake specifically. It freaks me out because I know how big and deep it is.
Well, you just made me want a hobby. Now I kind of want to go get one of those drone submersibles. Are kind of getting cheaper
Okay,
because we got the Temu now.
you are not. No.
And so I'm kind of wondering if I should go
No.
looking for the fucking paddler. Kind of wanting to go looking for the paddler. I'll be safe. I can just chill on the bridge. I can go chill
Yeah, you can
on
go
a
on that
boat.
bridge.
I can go rent a little fucking fishing boat or whatever the fuck those are called.
I hate that Sandpoint Bridge. I hate driving over it. I don't know. That lake freaks me out, and there's something deep and visceral about me that, like, it's freaked out by that lake. I don't like it at all.
You seem to have a fear of big bodies of water, though.
Well, okay, so normally, like growing up and stuff, now you know what? I did get freaked out in Flathead too. So maybe I do have a fear of drowning, but that's because I literally almost drowned as like when I was 3. Hold on. Hold on. That might be literally everything right there.
Welcome back to Crystal Clear Therapy. I'm your host, Brady. And today we're gonna get Crystal through some shit.
So I want to hear, it is a crazy thing. Come out to Lake Pend Oreille, come visit, come see how big the lake is. Google how big the lake is. It is a massive thing.
Google pictures and stuff. And then you can come out and rent jet skis. There's like 5 different jet ski, probably more by now because it's 2026.
No, it is a massive, massive lake. It's a gorgeous lake though. But I do wonder now if there's a giant creature. So it is a big, massive lake. It is a gorgeous lake. It is a lake that's a lot of fun in the summer. And it's very heavily used by people.
Does it freeze in the winter, actually? I never...
I don't we don't go out that way. Like freezes.
We don't go out that way often in the winter, so do people go out and ice fish on it or anything?
I don't know. I don't have any interest in it because of my hydrophobia, so I don't look into that kind of stuff.
I just want to see it drained.
I'm sure it could, but the problem is like when it's so deep, I don't know how much it actually freezes. It doesn't get that cold up here.
True. But, I don't think we'll ever fully know if the paddler's real, but I'm going to believe in it. I believe in the paddler. Paddler's pretty cool.
He is a cool guy, and I am so sad I forgot about him for like almost 20 years, but I'm glad that I got to remember.
I think he's more mysterious than any of the other things we've done on this show so far. It's maybe because of the hyper-localization, technically.
Well, we also have the Navy involved. I feel like the Navy being involved at all just makes it a little bit head-scratchy, you know?
True. They probably got documents on it, actually.
I bet you they do.
They probably got pictures and all sorts of shit that's not released. I would love to see it. We never know.
Well, one day they'll declassify, but we'll be like 80.
Donald Trump's like great-grandson. We're going to release the paddler files.
Well, I hope as much as we could, we have made the local beastie, the Pend Oreille Paddler, crystal clear. Bye. Follow us on Threads and Insta at Wormsong Media. That's WYRMSONG Media. Want to reach out to us? Email us at wormsongmedia@gmail. Again, that's WYRMSONGMEDIA@gmail.